Hello, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 21 of our 2025 CSA season. One quick announcement, stay tuned, pay really close attention to both the emails that are coming through and everything that's posted on our Facebook group. The next few weeks, a lot of important information is going to be shared for next season. Early bird registration will begin next Saturday morning and run through the end of the month. So really important to pay attention to those timelines to get the best deals and get the most add-ons, especially if you want some of the more popular add-ons that sell out. So pay attention to all of that. That will be in the next few weeks. We have 24 weeks total and we are on week 21 this week. So jumping right into this week's share, we have parsley. Parsley is stored right in a jar of water in the fridge. So I just fill a jar with water, put this in that jar, and then leave it in the fridge. We got parsley last week as well, so think about preserving it, either dehydrating it or freezing it or using it in sauces, or you could make a like olive oil, garlic, onion, parsley cubes that you can use as seasoning for soups and for roasted vegetables and things like that over the winter time. So think about preserving as we get closer to the end of the season, especially on things like this where we get a lot of them. I am likely going to dehydrate mine for this week. We have spinach. Spinach is stored just like this. Leave it right in this bag. Store it in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, rinse it off really well, dry it, and then you can either eat it raw or cook it. My favorite way is raw. Spinach from the farm is delicious in a salad, like a lightly dressed salad form with a couple quick add-ons. Sometimes I just do like shaved Parmesan and maybe some slices of tomato. Sometimes I leave it just as is as a side, just lightly dressed. You can also cook it, so it's great paired with eggs. It's great in smoothies. It's just great sauteed, so any of our greens can be simple saute on the side. And used as a green side for a main meal. What else? Spinach. I primarily eat it raw. So I'm trying to think of what else. You can do green cubes. So if you have lots of vegetables or lots of greens that you haven't used from last week plus this week, do a quick blanch, blend them up, throw them into ice cube trays, freeze them, and then green cubes can be used. They're great in smoothies and things like that. So just another way to preserve our greens. We have sweet peppers. Sweet peppers are stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. Great eaten raw, just sliced up. They are amazing. There's a couple different recipes, especially from this year. We did a sausage scallopini, which has been on rotation in my house since we've been getting so many different peppers. It uses a lot of peppers and onions. That's an option. You have the chicken fajita sheet pan meal. That's also an option, both of which can be doubled and then you can freeze. So if you're trying to use up peppers, those are pepper heavy dishes. Also, the sweet pepper sauce that just got posted, I'm pretty sure that was actually last week's recipe, was amazing. I had it, it was inspired by a dipping sauce that I had at a restaurant when I went out to eat. So I was like, oh, we can make that. I can kind of tweak that and figure out how to make it on my own. So we use sweet peppers. Obviously, the color of peppers that you use for that sauce is going to change the color of the sauce, but same basic flavor and can be used for a lot of different things. So sweet peppers, you can also roast them. You can stuff them. We have hot peppers. Hot peppers are also stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. Use the entire pepper except for the stem if you want quite a bit of heat. And there's a variety of different types of peppers that you get to choose from on the farm. So take a look at the signs for heat value and what typically they're used for. But basically any hot pepper is going to add heat to a dish. You can stuff them. You can use them for different appetizers. This week's recipe, I'm pretty sure, is going to feature, or at least as a topping, have pickled hot peppers as a topping. What else? You can freeze them. So you can chop them up and freeze them and then use them for like hot sauces or hot pepper or like a chili to add heat to a soup. Hot pepper honey is a recipe on the website. So take a look at all of those. It's a way to use up a lot of your hot peppers. We have tomatoes. Tomatoes are stored at room temperature. Once you're ready to use them, slice them up and eat them just as is. If you've made basil salt, which is an awesome recipe with all the basil we've gotten throughout the season, it's a way to preserve the basil. I like to just dice these up and sprinkle a little basil salt on them and eat them fresh. Great for sandwiches, also amazing for tomato soup, like a roasted tomato soup or a roasted tomato sauce, but stored at room temperature. We have radishes. Very first thing you're gonna do with radishes is chop off those bottoms, store them in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. The tops, store them in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a separate Ziploc bag in the fridge. They can be sauteed just like any other green. They can also be thrown into your freezer bag of veggie scraps to be used later on for veggie broth. But a simple quick saute as a side is an option for those greens. The bottoms, slice them thin and serve them on top of salad. You can pickle them. You can roast them. A lot of people that do not like radishes, the peppery flavor of the radish, or radishes just aren't your favorite vegetable, please, please, please try roasting them. And there is a recipe on the website for roasted radishes. It changes the flavor profile and is very different, so try it. You can roast them, you can pickle them, you can eat them raw. We have beets. Beets are stored just like this, so they didn't come with greens. So store them just like this in the crisper drawer. You can boil them. You can eat them raw or can cook them. You can boil them, you can roast them, you can pickle them. Once pickled, you can use them shredded, you can use them sliced, you can dice them up. So lots of ways to use them. I've been doing like a green salad with pickled beets on top with some goat cheese and a very light dressing. Beets are really healthy and have all kinds of nutrients in them, so they're fun to add to salads. But roasted, also a good option there. If you have quite a bit and you're not going to use them, they'll last a little bit longer, but pickling preserves them. Whoops. We have acorn squash. Acorn squash is stored in a cool, dry place. Once you're ready to use it, typically you slice it in half, scoop out the seeds, throw those seeds out, or you could actually separate the seeds and roast them. I usually do like a tablespoon of butter and a little brown sugar and just roast the half of the acorn squashes just like that and serve it as a side. You could definitely dice them and roast them. You can take it out of once roasted, you can take it out, puree it, and just use that as a side. So it's just a different version of our squash. So a fun fall addition. All right, we have two large greens. This one kind of looks funky, has the white bottom. This is our escarole. So escarole is stored in the fridge. I get a Debbie Meyer green bag, kind of pull it together, throw it in the Debbie Meyer green bag until I'm ready to use it. Once ready to use it, you're gonna wash it. It can be eaten raw. There's an amazing salad on the website. I can't remember what I call it, but I'm pretty sure it's like escarole, apples, dates, and a light dressing. I wasn't the biggest fan of escarole until I made that salad, and that salad is fantastic. You can saute escarole and beans, escarole goes in soups, so it's a great option for all of those different things. The other green that we have is romaine. So a little bit different on the bottom, not as white and not as wide of a head. You can also taste them. This tastes like lettuce. That has a little bit more of a bitter taste to it. So the romaine is stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, you're gonna wash up the leaves, chop them up and use them in a salad. Use them on sandwiches, tacos, use them as a base for a bowl. So a lot of people are adding like lettuce to bowls. I think there was lettuce in my burger bowl that I posted a couple weeks ago. Take a look at the PDFs on our hub, and there's a salad board PDF, so you could definitely make a salad board with a lot of the produce from this week. And don't forget, like, you can take things and roast them. You can roast like the acorn squash and add that to a salad also. So kind of think outside the box. Makes a nice fall salad. 2 more items. We have scallions. Scallions are stored in a large Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. Once you're ready to use them, wash them. They have a light onion flavor, so you can use them in place of onions. You can chop them and use them raw. Great as a garnish. Pretty sure I might be using a few of these in this week's recipe. But if a recipe calls for onions, you can use the scallions instead. They're just gonna be a lighter flavor, so you're gonna wanna use more of them. You can dehydrate them, so that's something that I've done in the past. You can freeze them, so you can chop them up and put them into cubes and freeze them, and then they're a great addition to soups, especially in the winter season. So just ways to preserve them. But great as a garnish, great on top of salads, on top of like a baked potato or in mashed potatoes. Last but not least, we've got sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are stored in a cool, dry place. Once you're ready to use them, you're gonna scrub them down. You do not need to peel them. You can if you want. They can be roasted, they can be sliced and grilled. They can be sliced and also roasted. They can be sauteed. They can be boiled and mashed. So basically the same thing you can do with a regular potato, you can also do with sweet potato. They are just a sweeter variety, so they're gonna have that sweeter flavor. This will be the showcase of our dish, I'm pretty sure, for the recipe for this week. So stay tuned for more ideas of how to use your sweet potatoes on Thursday. That is it for this week. Again, make sure you are paying attention to both the Facebook group and to your emails for early bird registration. And I will see you guys all again next Tuesday.